In today's Friday Flash, we're covering 6 cruise stories in under 6 minutes. So stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss these updates. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, Adventure fam? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a beautiful and blessed Friday like I am. And we're going into the weekend feeling good. Just like I said yesterday in today's video, if you didn't catch it, we are doing something new on this channel. I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. And so we're doing something new. And that means today is the very first episode of the Friday Flash. So what does that actually mean? That means today I'm going to be bringing you 6 cruise stories from around the globe in under 6 minutes. My goal is to get 1 minute or under for each of these stories. I want to give you the updates. I'm going to post all of the links to the stories down below in the description. So if you want to get further information, you can certainly do that. And that's going to be the goal. So we're going for 6 new stories today, under 6 minutes. And without further ado, let's go. So let's jump into story number 1, which has to do with Carnival Cruise Lines. And look, at Service Dog Policy, brand ambassador John Heald recently went on Facebook Live to talk about a heartwarming story how Carnival Celebration was going to be welcoming some special guests. Now, the special guest was a group of 40 blind passengers along with their service dogs, and in order to go above and beyond, the Carnival Celebration went and put litter trays on top of Deck 7. They also made special accommodations for their rooms, providing them balcony rooms in order to put litter trays out on those balconies as well. Carnival Celebration also made special arrangements in the dining room for special seating, and they came up with Braille bingo cards for the group's entertainment. Now, of course, in all the heartwarming stories that we see around the world, there's always got to be one Debbie Downer who finds the negative in everything, and this is no exception to that case. Now, what happened was there was a passenger who complained about allergies, and they wanted compensation for the inconvenience. And while Carnival Cruise Lines was sympathetic to the complainant, they also came out and stood firm in their stance. They said that they were going to follow all ADA rules, and they were also going to support those with disabilities. John Heald went a step further and said that these service animals provide vital assistance to these owners, and it's essential for their health and well-being, and therefore Carnival was standing firm in their belief in the ADA rules and allowing these service dogs to come on board. And last but not least, in response to the allergy complaint, Carnival says that they will go ahead and make special arrangements for this passenger in the dining room, rearranging the seating if they need to, and they went over the protocols for cleaning and sanitizing the rooms to make sure that when the guests are off of the boat at the end of the cruise, they will go ahead and clean and sanitize the rooms to the best of their ability to make sure there's no allergens left behind for the future cruisers. Moving on to story number 2, Princess Cruises has announced a 114-night cruise in 2026. That's right, the Coral Princess will set sail on its most destination-rich voyage ever. It will cover 35,000 nautical miles and 6 different continents. Now, the cruise will originally leave from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on January 5th, 2026. It will make its way over to Los Angeles, California, where it will depart again on January 21st, 2026. The cruise is going to have multiple starting points throughout this 114-night journey to allow travelers the flexibility to hop on and off on the destination legs that they desire the most. Now, Princess is stating that there's an appeal for this longer, more all-inclusive cruise, which is going to include 52 stops in 28 different countries. The cruise will also include stops at 50 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, 13 late night calls, and an overnight stay in Hong Kong. Now again, Princess is allowing passengers to book certain segments or legs of this journey. So if you're interested, go to Princess's website, take a look at their world cruise or their 114-night cruise in 2026, and I'm sure you can get all the details there. We will also link it down below. So story number 3 has to do with the Carnival sensation, and it's a little bit of an older story. It actually, the story is from April of 2022. I just came across it, but it hit me near and dear to my heart because the Carnival sensation is a ship I actually sailed on when I was a teenager in high school. I believe in 95, 96, somewhere around there, freshman, sophomore year, we sailed on the Carnival Sensation. Now at the time, didn't know it was only a few years old, but in looking into the story, looks like that ship came out in 1993. It was a fantasy class ship, and look, most of its sister ships had been sold off during the pandemic. Pandemic hit the Carnival Cruise Lines, well, every cruise line hard, as you might imagine, and so some of the older ships were scrapped. And while they tried to hold on to the Sensation a little bit longer and tried to update it throughout the years as much as they possibly could, finally in April of 2022, they sold it for $11 million to a place in Turkey so they can use it for scrap metals. All right, so story number 4 has to do with Disney's new private Bahama Island lookout key at Lighthouse Point. This new Bahamian island is going to immerse guests starting in June of 2024, so just a couple of months away before the first guests arrive. And they have released a second set of exclusive photos. We're going to share those with you right now and talk a little bit about those. So let's check these photos out. Now, at first glance, you can see the smooth shapes of the roof lines and rounded angles that evoke a connection to nature and mimic the look of natural seashells, bringing guests closer to the water and marine habitat in a soothing and peaceful way. Now, upon closer examination of the teaser photos you see here, it shows a broad and graceful boardwalk abundant with native plants and wide sandy spaces when it's drawing nearer and closer to completion and welcoming guests. Now, the brilliantly colored cabanas at Serenity Bay feature tropical hues, expansive shade, and immediate beach access. Now, of course, there is a lot more to put into place before June comes and the first guests arrive, but Disney is working hard to get this project completed. Now, moving on to story number 5, we're talking about Virgin Voyages and its brand new ship, the Brilliant Lady, which is set to debut in September of 2025. And well, it's going to be touching all 4 corners of North America on sailings anywhere from 5 to 14 nights. Now, Virgin made this announcement on its Virgin Voyages website, and it's going to be sailing from 4 different ports: New York City, Miami, Los Angeles, and Seattle when it debuts in September of 2025. Now, when it debuts, the Brilliant Lady will be the first Virgin Voyages cruise that will debut inside the Panama Canal and also go to Alaska. Now, when it debuts, it will hold 2,762 passengers and weigh a total of 110,000 gross tons. If you want more information on this story and where it's going to be sailing to, the link is going to be in the description below, so go check that out. Now, last but certainly not least, there is a breaking story of a missing crew member on board a world cruise. So this crew member is part of the Ambassador Cruise Lines and the cruise ship Ambiance, and he went missing on May 3rd, and so the search is currently underway for this crew member. Now, the cruise ship was in between its final call in Lisbon, Portugal, to its home port in Tilbury, United Kingdom, when the crew member went missing. They did an extensive search on board, and now it looks like they are searching in the water to see if they can locate this missing crew member. Now, the crew member was reported missing after breakfast, and once they were not able to locate him on the ship, they called in the Spanish Coast Guard, who is now helping and assisting the Ambassador Cruise Lines and the Ambiance in with the search. Now, of course, like any search and rescue mission, as the search continues, you hope for good news, and we will wait to hear kind of what they are able to find, but this is just breaking news. It just came through, so prayers go up for the missing crew member and hope that they can locate the missing crew member and bring him or her back to safety. There's no word yet on kind of who the crew member is, what role they played on the ship and whatnot. So hopefully the crew member can be found safely. All right, so that's going to do it for the first ever Friday Flash. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're not part of the Adventure fam, we invite you to subscribe. Take the next 5 seconds, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bells, and please do me a favor and drop a like for this video if you enjoyed the news. And without further ado, that's going to do it for us today. Have a great rest of your Friday and have a blessed weekend. Peace.